Welcome to this demo presentation. In the next few minutes, we will introduce you to our HRM solution built on Junica platform. This solution was designed to support companies of any size with their HR-related processes. We are covering interviewing, on- and offboarding, as well as handling employee requests such as vacation, business trip, and internal transfer applications. Let's start with the elements of Junica platform which were used to build this solution and are possible to be customized further. The menu is available on the left side at all times for the users of the system. As I'm currently acting as an admin, I have access to all menu points, unlike other types of users. Employee application section groups up the different types of requests that employees might initiate. Under HR section, we can find candidates, employees, and our main processes. We can find the data structure of the application under Object Management. The main tables are candidates and employees. Other tables such as contract, training, meeting are creating more detailed view on the main object types and processes. The solution involves many different roles of users with the proper access rights they need. The roles are set up HR manager, recruiter, infrastructure employee manager, and finance manager. Rights for reading, creating, or editing objects can be set up for each group or user under administration access rights. Business processes are grouped into three categories: HR processes, employee applications, and interviews. All workflows are designed to accommodate the needs of employees from all departments, ensuring smooth and efficient processes with dedicated assignees, measured SLAs, and custom task visuals. Not only tasks, but other visual elements can be customized as well, such as lists and detailed forms, thanks to the drag and drop screen editor of the platform. Other visual elements like dashboards help the understanding of underlying data, providing insights of new and leaving employees as well as candidates. The HRM solution offers registration for new users. As a new user, you might register as recruiter, HR manager, finance manager, or hiring manager. These are the roles that are involved in the different processes at different stages. For the presentation, I will log in as Philips, who is an HR manager. After logging into the system, you can see the start page, which offers some highlights of the solution, as well as overview of the user's task, candidates who are in the application process, divided to the different stages where they might be, onboarding employees, and to see the different applications which are in progress. The menu is on the left side, where we have three main folders: the human resources with the candidates, employees, as well as the main processes of the solution, some dashboards under HR analytics. We can see or initiate, as every user has this possibility to initiate the applications such as leave application, business trip request, and internal transfer. And we can see some related objects such as the meetings, trainings, and resources under the communication and resources. Let's create a new application. To do that, we need to open the menu, go to Employee Applications, and pick the type of application we want to initiate. In this case, it will be Leave Application. After the system opens up the list of applications, we should click on the plus icon here. With that, we can create a new one. As you can see, that there are some mandatory fields that needs to be filled at this point of the application. And there are some fields which are not available for editing at the moment. It is either because it's calculated by the system, like the number of days, or it is dedicated for some other roles of the solution, like HR or the manager. The users have the option to upload documents for their application as well, but it's not mandatory at this point. Let's save the application. And then we are able to start the process. Let's check the approval process of a leave application. After the employee submitted their request about the leave, the manager receives a notification. They have the option to either escalate this request or forward it to HR review. The supervisor might need to make a decision if the request is escalated, and in all cases, the HR also provides a standpoint about the request. They might ask for adjustments or they can finalize the process. Let's check it from user perspective. Now I'm logged in as a manager. I can start my task from the start page or from the task list from the menu, and also from the notification with the direct link that I've received. We can see the initial data about the application, and we can provide our standpoint as a manager. The users always see some instructions on the right side, and they can select how they wish to move forward with the process. Let's continue the process with the HR manager, who also received the task about the review that they need to add. They are also provided with some instructions, as well as the options to finalize or ask for adjustments about this leave application. Let's click on Complete Task. And now our request is approved. We can check the route with the Route button and see what were the steps that we went through. Interview process is one of the main processes of HRM solution. The users involved are recruiter, HR manager, and hiring manager. The process starts with an initial evaluation of the candidate, then moves on with HR interview and manager interview. There are multiple possible ways how to handle this process. There could be additional interviews and task assignment as well. Towards the end of the process, we have dedicated tasks to prepare the offer with a generated print form, as well as finalizing the candidate profile and turning our candidate into an employee after accepting the offer. The list of interview processes can be found under Human Resources, HR Processes, and Interviews. To start a new interview process, you need to have a candidate. Candidates can be manually entered and created by this Create button, or they can be imported from Excel file through Import Candidates button. During the whole process, there are custom task visuals on which are appropriate for the current stage of the process, such as the initial evaluation, where we can see more information about the candidate, or some scheduling tasks where we can register the meetings that we are planning to have with the candidate. In these occasions, these meetings are sub-processes of our interviewing main process, and all the users involved are notified before the meeting. In case task assignment is part of the process, then the description, deadlines, and evaluation can be added in the solution as well. The HRM solution offers an onboarding process as well, which starts with preparing for the arrival of the new employee by preparing a training schedule for them and registering meetings so that they can get to know their colleagues and internal policies better. After they have completed their trainings and meetings, they would participate in a performance evaluation led by their supervisor, which might end up with a successful, unsuccessful probation period or with some adjustments. After the performance evaluation is finished, we update the status of the onboarded employee. You can see the list of onboarding processes on a dedicated registry. This can be found in the menu under the HR processes and onboarding. To start a new onboarding process, you need to come to the employee registry, pick the proper employee, click on Start Process, and select Onboarding process. During the process, there are custom task visuals so that the user always knows what to focus on, but they are also provided with some instructions always on the right side so that they can see what is the actual task that they need to execute at this point. The HRM solution comes with a termination process which starts with preparation of the termination form, then an HR review and manager review. After that, they schedule an exit interview with the employee who is to be terminated. And finally, there is a financial administration where the finance manager checks the unsettled commission of the employee, the paid holidays that are remaining, as well as any other financial obligation towards the company. The termination processes can be checked under HR processes, termination. If we want to initiate a new termination process, we need to select the employee who we want to terminate. And let's start a new process with Levi in this case. We can click on Start Process and start a termination process. We receive our first task, which we are notified about on the right side. Now let's fill the form. We have a termination section over here. It's an involuntary termination. The reason is performance. Let's say termination date is today, and this is the basic information we need to fill. Let's click on Complete Task and let's continue with the HR manager. Now, as an HR manager, we receive the task to review the initiated termination. We can add the HR standpoint and add some additional comments to the task. Let's move forward. Now it's the manager's turn to review the termination. They can add their standpoint as well. After both reviews, it's time for the HR manager to schedule the exit interview with the employee who is to be terminated. Let's click on Create Meeting, select the type. This would be an internal meeting, add the subject, and set the start date. All of the participants are reminded of the meeting before the start date. Let's click on Complete Task. Now we are notified about the internal meeting, that we have it as a task. We can start the meeting and add some memo if we wish. As a last step, an employee of the finance department receives a task, financial administration, where they check whether there is any financial obligation between the company and the employee, like remaining paid holidays or unsettled commissions. Let's say that we found none, and we can also add some other finance-related comments. Can finalize the process, complete task, and now our employee is terminated.